Yes. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. The 3rd of December, 2020, 6 p.m. Followed by Sean Clare, myself, and Kev John Brown with another episode of Small Talk. Sean, take it away.
Big one today, Isaac.
Big one.
You're from Wigan, I'm from Widnes. Two huge rugby towns. We look like rugby players, so it's only good to get Big Kev on. How are we doing, Kev?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm good. Thanks for the intro. Big Kev.
Big Kev. So, who have you played for, Kev? Let's go through the list. England international.
Yeah, I started off at Wigan. I left and went to Huddersfield for 6 years. Then I went to Widnes. And then got pushed out. I went to Warrington. And now I'm at Salford.
How's Salford treating you? Better than Warrington.
Oh, everywhere I've been really lucky. They're all fantastic clubs, and Salford's very similar to Widnes in that respect, where you punch above your weight. Very family feel to the club, and yeah, it's a good place.
So let's start back. So Wigan, when you're young whippersnapper, starting with some Super League greats. What was that like?
It was fantastic for me to start my career with so many greats: Andy Farrell, Chris Radlinski, Gary Connolly, and real get a grounding and how you should, play the game. I had some great leaders and obviously captain a few sides myself. So learned so much off them players, and yeah, I feel really lucky to have played in that era where there was a bit of fighting and scuffles going on. Every time there's a Good Friday game, I see the fight where I'm getting thrown around by Dom Fuinati from Saints.
You got me in the tunnel.
Yeah, I got him after the game,
Yeah, I love that. And then you went over across the M62 to Huddersfield.
Yeah, went to...
Knowledge?
Tell you what, I'm good with my geography.
Yeah,
How was Huddersfield like?
Huddersfield were great. I needed to sort of... obviously, going in at Wigan was really good, like I said, but I really learned how to play the game when I went to Huddersfield. I played standoff. I was there every week. I ended up captaining that side as well. So part of my journey, a massive part, was down to Huddersfield, and learned so much off of numerous coaches. But Nathan Brown, still to this day, one of the best I've had, and I was really fortunate to work under him, and a lot of the stuff, my game really improved under him, and still do a lot of the things he taught me.
You got an England international at Huddersfield as well, didn't you? That's where your England journey began.
Yeah, so I think 2010 we had a really good year. We played in the Challenge Cup final. I think we finished 3rd in the league, and obviously the year before we were relegation candidates. We'd just avoided that. The John Sharp, the old coach, had been sacked, and Brownie came in and didn't just transform, my game and my form, but everyone else and the team. It went from, kicking the can at the bottom of the league and to right up at the top. And a few of us, me, Sean Lunt, Earl Crabtree, Luke Robinson, all got selected to tour Australia and New Zealand, which was unbelievable.
Was it? So then let's talk about the big one. Huddersfield, You left to become a Widnes hero, a Widnes great. What was that like? What was the fans like?
Up the Vikings!
Yeah. It was brilliant. I loved every single minute I was there. And I mean that. I did. I had a great journey, and obviously I got signed with a transfer fee, so they paid a bit of money. So I had a little bit to live up to as well, and make sure that I gave value for money, and really, really did enjoy not only off field and enjoying the fans' company and the players' company, but what we did on the field as well. I really feel that was the best period in history's in Widnes's history in the modern day, really, and it was a joy to be a part of.
So what we got to Challenge Cup semi-final, playoffs. While you were there,
we did a lot of things that hadn't been done for many years. We had players playing for England or being selected for England. I was picked in the dream team. I don't think they've ever had a player in the dream team before. James Reel told me that.
Big moves.
It could have been a lie though. So it came from Jimmy. And yeah, we did I think we won 13 games straight as well, which was just unheard of. The season before they were getting beat by 60 and 50 every week. So what we did as a group there was immense, and obviously leaving, it was a little bit different, and it weren't our plan. But there's a story behind that too, and it's not everything that everyone believes, I don't think.
You're tell us, can we hear the story?
Interesting.
Well, yeah, I'll tell you the story. And I signed a non-disclosure at the time, but the club ultimately folded, so that's waived now. So what happened was I played for England in the Four Nations in 2014. Was it, or 16? It was 16, and went on holiday with my family. Had another year or two left on my contract, and Jimmy rung me up and said, "Oh, we've had a offer accept. We've accepted an offer to let you go." Now, I knew what the asking price was because Cronulla and Saints had been interested in buying me the year before, and the club had said no, they wanted a certain figure, and they weren't willing to match that, but Warrington were. So look, the deal was done before I'd spoke to anyone. So I'd signed this NDA, which I couldn't actually say what had gone on. Dennis still wanted me at the club. I still wanted to, I didn't have a decision to make. I loved my time at Warrington too, and I embraced that. But it wasn't like I was kicking and screaming to leave either. And that's where, it was hard to take when, yourself included and all the Widnes fans were calling me a snake on Twitter. And I just came off it for a bit. I just came off it because I was either going to say something that I wasn't allowed to say, or, and I knew that at some point I'd be able to sort of, say the truth. And I mean that when I say it, I weren't kicking and screaming and asking to leave Widnes. They came to me and told me they'd accepted an offer, and it was a massive amount of cash that they got, and they needed that money, and that was why they sold me. I don't think anyone wanted to actually sell me, but the club's finances dictated, that they needed to fill a hole in the financial situation, and it did that for a couple of years. So I saw it as a positive for the club. Some of my best mates were still there, Freddie, Eamon O'Carroll, and Dennis, and a lot of them I still speak to now as best mates. So I was gutted to go, but obviously going to such a big club in Warrington, it wasn't a bad option. I loved it there, and the first game we played Brisbane, and I never actually won anything there, but I played in a lot of massive games and finals. So it was a good 3 years.
So you mentioned you come off Twitter because of all the backlash and stuff like that. How do you think that affected your mental health, like playing the game? Because a lot of sports and like people just presume like they don't even, whatever you see on social media, like it's not going to get back to him, it's not going to affect him. Like, and obviously you play like a man's sport. So what was that like going like playing the game?
It was hard, but I'm mentally in a good place, and I'm really lucky that I am. But it could have affected people. Do you know what I mean? It's not nice being, told, I said like real bad things about me and about my family, and if you're one of them where you let it get to you, it could have really got to me because it was constant, and that's why I thought, it's not productive this reading this, so I just came off. And the games were hard too. I remember playing the first game back at Widnes. It was Phil Bentham, the referee, grabbed me before the game, and he said, "Look, we've been advised that there could be a pitch invasion at some point in this game, and we might have to rush you off the field." And I thought, it's getting a bit much this now, and it was quite fun at the time playing in a fierce derby, and I went with a mind frame that right, it's on now. I'm going to shove it up Widnes, because that's the way they're treating me. So I remember Peter Iku, he'd come over from New Zealand Warriors, and he was stood at the side of me, and he didn't understand what all the fuss was about. And I was waiting for a kickoff, and all these snakes came on the field, like rubber snakes and blow up snakes, and they were all landing around me. But he's obviously stood at, you can't throw far enough. And then Peter were picking them up and throwing them back into the crowd. There was no pitch invasion, and you know that was as bad as it got in terms of violence or anything. So, but it were right on the edge. You could, I'm sure you've seen yourself, the boos and the jeering, and I had to tell my son, you know, when they were singing Kevin Brown's. It was Kevin Brown's a wire, so he was singing that up until about 6, and then he realised he wasn't singing it right, and he starts laughing about it now.
Yeah, so nice. So obviously you've had a great rugby career. Looking back, obviously you've been to a few clubs and that. What have you kind of learned within each club? Is all the clubs like got the same kind of like mentality, the structure, or is each team environment different to one another? Or obviously some teammates follow you and join you.
Yeah. I've learned lots. A lot of me, you know, my life skills and everything I owe to rugby. Because if I've not been, you know, training or playing, I've still been around my teammates and, you know, some of your mates, Sean, are rugby lads, and you know how close you can get, you know, off the field. So you do have a sort of norm in certain cultures. I know what a bad culture looks like, and I know what a good culture looks like. And a lot of the time it comes from the leadership or the senior players. And just looking at Sean O'Loughlin, for example, how humble he is as a leader. Everyone can see as a leader. You don't have to shout and scream and be nasty when you're being a leader. You can be a nice person, a good friend, but lead by example and show the way as well as you shouting and screaming. So I've learnt loads, and it's hard to sort of pick, you know, a certain few things, but just being a good bloke, being a good teammate, being a good person is something that I try and pass down to the younger lads, because, you know, I remember when I was 17 and 18 and some of the stuff I do, I regret. You know, I do some stupid stuff, and, you know, you see some young lads coming in doing the same kind of things, and I feel you get a little bit of empathy when you've gone through that yourself, and you can sort of let them off a little bit, but also, you know, grab them and pull them in line and say, look, we're going this way. This is the best way for your career, the best way for the team, the best way for the club. And, you know, I've learned a lot about, you know, being a leader, I think, from such a good sport.
Yeah, and I think at that age as well, at the age of 18, it's very hard, because obviously I'm 22, and when I was 18, it's like a pinpoint in your life where all of your mates are going out all the time and stuff, but then also you've got another part of your life where it's like a cross junction where you can either go this elite athlete way or you can kind of steer away, and it's so hard to kind of balance, I thought. But again, in elite sport, I think athletes build this kind of resilience as well off the pitch, where stuff in daily life won't affect us, because we've been kind of in elite sport, we've just been built as like athletes to deal with high pressure situations. So how in rugby league, obviously it's like this man's man sport, what would you say the resilience would be in like in a game situation? Would you like would you thrive off it, or would you kind of need your teammates to get you going?
I've learned to sort of, you know, live with the pressure and live with the expectation. I think that's probably the hardest thing from going from an amateur sort of player or semi-professional player to a pro, where it's, you know, the be all and end all for, you know, 6 to 50,000 fans watching you.
Yeah.
And if you can think about it too much, it can sort of really put you off. But what I've learned is just do your best. If you do your best and you're prepared, my nerves go away. If I know I've done my diligence, you know, on the Monday, on the Tuesday, and recovered well on the Wednesday, and you know, ticked every box through the week, and then, you know, nerves are just something that, you know, a part of life. You're always going to have some sort of anxiety, and if you can just stay on top of that, see so many lads freaking out in change rooms, and you know, they're using all their energy, and week after week they're doing this, and season after season, and before they know it, they want to get out of the sport, they want to get out of, you know, the limelight, because it's too much and it's built up, and then they should almost expect that they're not feeling right when they've not got that anxiety before a big performance. But for me, it's just, I've just got used to doing my best, and if it's good enough, then great, and if it's not, then great, I've done my best, I couldn't have done any more, and that's the way I sort of, you know, attack my sport, attack my big games, and my little games as well, because it's dead easy to do your best when you're in a final or a semi. It's really hard when you go into a really, you know, tough place. Like they're struggling, the pitch is rubbish, the fans are rubbish. You know, like Widnes, Sean.
We made you. We made you. So, I hope you don't mind me talking. You've had a lot of injuries in your career as well, a lot of setbacks. And I think obviously people with disabilities can sort of relate to that because, you know, they've always got something wrong with their body. And how do you feel? I'm not saying you're disabled, by the way. But how did you like mentally prepare yourself? So you've had a long time out for like 6 months or whatever. How did you mentally prepare yourself to come back? And what advice would you give to other sportsmen who suffer like injuries on and off the pitch?
Yeah, again, I just sort of took it that it's part of the game. I knew, like, everyone sees me as an injury-prone player, and that's because I've been playing for so long. But I've played nearly 500 games, and I'm really proud how many games I've played. There's not many people. If someone had said you'll play 200, I'd have snapped their hand off at the beginning of my career. But yeah, undoubtedly you have, you know, patches in your career where you get injured, and the worst one was probably my Achilles. And with my testimonial, I'm going to do, you know, a bit of a documentary because I filmed my journey really behind from rupturing it to getting back. And the surgeon at the time told me, you know, someone of your age, an athlete of you know, the qualities that you need to get back to your level, it'll be 12 to 14 months. And, you know, in 12 months' time, I didn't have a contract. So for me, it was a waste of time, him saying 12 to 14 months. He may as well have said 5 years. So what I said is, I'm going to try and half it. I'm aiming for 5.5 months. And at the time, he thought I was deluded. So what I did, I set myself this goal, and I thought, if I miss this goal, that if I hit it close, then I'm still a chance of playing. So I was doing 3 sessions a day. I was swimming in the morning, you know, putting my boot back on, doing my rehab, and then doing my conditioning in the afternoon with Bubble, who's at Warrington, a great conditioner. So they were training me really hard. And I got back in 6 months, and I put loads of little stickers everywhere to stop me eating too much and all sorts. So when I got back, I was fit. And I think Warrington sort of wrote me off a little bit. They took me off the cap. So because the surgeon said, yeah, they'd said 12 to 14 months. So Warrington needed some cover, and, you know, they listened to the surgeon, and it was probably the right thing to do. They brought Matty Smith in, and, you know, when I got back fit, I was nowhere to play. So I went and had a couple of games at Lee and earned a contract at Salford. So I think if there was any message to sort of say, is just sort of listen and take, you know, advice on board, but just shoot for the stars. And if you miss, you lit the sky. You know, that's how I've always tried to do it. And you know, attack my rehab as like anything else, because once that injury comes, it's like so easy to, you know, sit around and feel, you know, low, and, you know, eat rubbish and drink piss, and it's a dead easy snowball. So I've always just thought, right, when can I get in the gym? When can I build up a bit? When can I start? And that's how I've done it. And that's probably what's, you know, sort of giving me longevity in my career.
Yeah. And also on a positive note, you say if you have a big injury, you're one step closer to recovery. So say if you make one small task or one goal for that day, then you're going to reach that goal, and then each day ticks by. One thing I want to touch on, obviously rugby league, physical sport, and family life and stuff, big. How do you balance when you're away from sport, when you've got a tough match of the weekend, or you're away in a different country? How do you balance when you get back? Do you completely switch off about rugby when you have a break and just turn to family, or is it always in the back of your mind?
It is. It's always there, because it's like having it as such a big thing and being so sort of dedicated to it. I always feel like I want to get to the gym, or you know, and if I miss a session, I feel shit, and I'm like, missed a session, I want to get to the gym. So I've probably found that most difficult in my career. You know, I love my family, and they're the most important thing to me in my life. And you know, doing 9 weeks without them in Australia was ridiculously tough. And it was so good when they came over at, you know, the end of the World Cup, and I got time to spend with them. But yeah, that's probably the hardest, switching off. You know, if you've got a big game coming up and everyone says, don't think about it now, or you play crap, and they say, don't worry about that now. But it's one thing saying it, but actually, you know, switching off is you know, I suppose the hard thing. But my little lad, he's always all over me. He's always full of beans, and play well or play bad, he brings you back down to that even where it doesn't really matter in his world. He needs his shoelaces tying, or he needs taking to school, and it's sort of I think having him 8 years ago has really helped me, as a rugby player, because with everything that's going on, he just drives me insane anyway, regardless. So it's great.
So you touched on your testimonial before. Can you just explain to us a bit about that? So the RFL give you a 12-month testimonial, and
yeah,
and you're raising money for State of Mind as well. So how come you chose that charity?
Yeah, so I never thought, like, I had a testimonial at Huddersfield. I had one in my contract, and I left there and came to Widnes, and Widnes needed the money in the friendlies, and I just thought, you know what, it's not the right time. And at Warrington, I only did 3 years, and then at Salford I was doing 2 years, and I just thought never right time. But they actually came to me. Steve McCormack came to me and said, "Oh, like we want to do something for you, and you should do a testimonial." And I sat back and thought, oh, it'd be good if I could sort of do something that actually, not just trying to milk as much money as I could out the game, but give a little back and enjoy it as well. So I'm doing things a little bit different. Some of the events I'm doing, I'll probably have a retirement party, get a big band on, a comedian.
We can't wait, can we, Isaac?
Jeez! Yeah. Sponsored by Small Talk.
and I sat down with my family and said, "Oh, what charity can we help?" And just that many. I've had three good friends kill himself through suicide, and Danny Sculthorpe's a real good friend of mine who's part of State of Mind. And with the lockdown and speaking to family members and friends, there's so many people that, more now than ever, that have been mentally aware of their own, mental health, and whether that's a little wobble or a real struggle. I think everyone through some point of this year has had, some sort of mental challenge, and I just feel real passionate that, if I can, do something that helps, just one person, then, I'll be buzzing that, because I see it as a bonus what I'm getting. I never thought I'd get one. I didn't think I was ever going to get 10 years in the game. So to do 19 and get one, I'm absolutely buzzing. And I planned on retiring at 30, and I'm 36 now. So all this is just fun for me. I'm just having a good time, and like I say, I'm really, really happy, and I can sleep at night that I'm doing something good for people with mental health, and such a good charity. That you can see really helping people, just in the community that I'm in.
Yeah, and you've got more legs in the tank if you're still going at it.
Yeah, I'm done after this year. I think I'm, I'd have to be something special or something real exciting to
Witness return.
Yeah,
I can DJ as well as your retirement party. I DJ as well on the side. DJ mini beats.
Well, we'll have to test you out for it.
So, have you got anything to ask Small Talk? We're obviously two young dwarfs.
Open to anything.
Yeah, who's the strongest?
Well, come on.
I squat more than him.
I've got bad legs. Kev knows.
Tell me a bit about your sporting career.
Who's mine or Isaac's?
Both of you.
Okay, so I started in athletics. I represented Great Britain, obviously. No, and I was a good junior. Went to World Junior Champs, won World Junior Champs, stuff like that. British record holder. But I had surgery on my back and it didn't go well. And obviously we got a mutual friend, Big Flecky. He got me in the gym, Valhalla, and got me benching again. And then so I just started doing powerlifting, just bench only. And I've been doing it for about 2 years now, so I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
What about you, Ice?
So I got introduced to badminton. Robin Park, I was actually by my sister. Yeah. I was 11 at the time, and then obviously that club was like a feeder for disability clubs, and then I got better and better. I got into performance centres and stuff and talent groups, and then I was training with county able-bodied, and then there was a thing called Four Nations, which is like a disability leg, Ireland, Scotland, England, Wales. And I just gotten better, and then I made the England squad in 2013 in Germany, and then just been getting better and better. Obviously, went through university, so the last 3 years I've still been training, but I've also got a degree as well. So I've just been balancing that, and that's obviously why we've decided to do small talk as well, because we think it's obviously kind of big impact at our age as well. And then I moved to Sheffield 4 months back to train full time with the Para Badminton squad to hopefully make 2024 in Paris, the city of love. Yeah,
Brilliant.
That's where I want to go. 2024. That's what the
Me
target.
Me and
Nice.
Sean on the same British
So
Airways.
how does the powerlifting work? Is it weight categories? Because I know I've seen a bit of it, but they do more than bench, don't they? Do they do a few?
So for like able-bodied, non-disabled, they do squat, deadlift, and bench. But obviously in disabled sport, like a lot of people can't use the lower limbs and stuff like that. So we just do bench only. But I think there's 7 weight categories in men and women. And I'm obviously lightweight, 59k.
So are you the favourite? You've got to be the favourite training with Flight.
No, I'm not. To be fair, I'm not. No, there's some big guys in like what countries, like Nigeria and stuff like that. Some big guys.
Yeah.
Also not big because they're the same weight as me, but like.
How does a weight category work then? If you've got a big guy who's
they just look. Honestly, I went first international in weight powerlifting. I was in you have to all get weighed in, and like this guy had his top off, and he was like dwarf, like smaller than me, but he looked massive. I was like, oh, don't worry, he's in the.
You shat your pants, didn't you? Okay.
No, I
went to the toilet quick time.
I was like, he's in a weight category above me. It's fine, like no drama. I went in the call-up room. He was sat there with his back. I was like, oh my god, this is terrible.
You got sweats on, didn't you?
Are you allowed to use the the stuff that they help them with? Is it like a wrap or something?
So we have straps on our hands, but nothing's allowed to touch the bar. And a lot of us, because we don't use
put something on your elbow, like a big.
No, you're not allowed stuff like that. No. So you get strapped in though, because we don't use our feet in it, because the bench is a bit longer. So we get strapped in. Like sounds mad, but we get strapped in the bench.
So what's your 1 rep max?
135.
Whoa, that's like nearly
big money moves. That
big guy. But there's some guys there who do like 170s, 180s in my cat. So I need got 4 years, mate, to catch them up.
Yeah.
No cap.
Well, good luck. I'll have to come and watch.
Definitely, Kevin. I'll come and watch. I obviously watch you a lot in your
career. What I'll do is when you're benching, I'll blow some snakes up and that, and just start wangling.
I never threw a snake.
You're front row.
I never. No, I did though. Disclaimer. You know did you play when we did the pitch invasion, Lee?
Yeah.
I couldn't get over the fence. I tried to get on. And this is not. I tried to get on, and I couldn't get over the board thing. And this.
It was only a 2-foot fence. That
was it. About 10 foot. It felt like 10 foot.
I got rushed out. We played Castleford at semi then, didn't we?
Yeah. Kev knocked on last 30 seconds.
Yeah, we got beat by 50, so it was irrelevant.
Did you watch the grand final? Did you watch the grand final the weekend, Kev?
I did. How good was that?
Yeah. Got in for Wigan, that.
Oh, no. Well, it could have gone either way. I actually thought Wigan were the better side, but
great defensive game.
Brilliant. I think it's probably the best grand final there's been. I've not seen one that's better, and the ending just finished it off. It was magical.
It's like me and Sean in the boxing ring, 10 rounds.
Who's your money on, Kev? Me and him, Isaac box.
I'm 48 kilograms, a bit more faster, a bit more sharper on my feet.
Yeah, I think he's got you, Sean.
Yeah. You're joking me.
Slim jab. Our last bit of our small talk. It's a new initiative that we put in together. And it started last week with Livy Breen. We decided to make a fun initiative. So the question is, what are you gonna have for tea? Have you had your tea or?
I've got my tea.
Prepped.
So.
Meal prep.
Got Christmas dinner.
Have you actually?
From the Lean Kitchen.
What a restaurant!
Shout Lean
restaurant.
If you if you use the discount code Small Talk at the counter, you get 10% off.
Yeah, we had on money for you too.
What are you having, Sean?
What am I having? I don't know. I've not had meat for 32 days.
Oh, no one's asked.
Pescatarian, mate.
It's not like going sober for 5 years. You've had a month off meat.
I mean, come on, guys, it's a big achievement. What fish dishes you got in the lean kitchen, Kev?
Fish dishes: sea bass, salmon, cod,
What a restaurant!
prawns.
Oof.
I'm prone to a prawn myself.
Prawn gyro, the steak gyro from Lean Kitchen, best thing I've ever had.
Can you finish it off?
Not the king one, just like the normal snack one.
No, he has the kids version.
Anyway, thank you for coming on, Kev. Witness legend, best part of your career. Thank you very much.
Are you getting me back or what?
I don't want to call
part of the team.
Yeah, definitely.
Have you got any plans tonight?
Any plans? No, I'll probably try and pull my son off Fortnite. So
great game.
Isaac loves that. Isaac loves it.
I'm more into McCord.
As he
God bless himself.
I've just come in the front room and I said to him, right, you've got to be quiet now. So he's playing silent version of Fortnite with his
we've ruined his night.
Two dwarfs from Northwest.
Cheers, Kev. Thanks for coming on.
Right.
No time.
Cheers,
mate.
Thank you very much.
Bye.